This is the ECG Golf Club. And welcome to this week's Hackers Podcast. Every episode available on Spotify and YouTube.
Now watch this drive.
Hey there, golf fans. I'm the Ashman. Welcome to the 14th episode of the ECG Hackers Podcast. Joining me, as always, Zook. Brother, how are you, mate?
Travelling well, mate. Managed to get around in today, being a public holiday here in Australia. So
Yes.
a little worse for the run, but it was an enjoyable hit. So glad to be here.
Looking forward to hear about it. I'll hear about it for sure. Also, my brother, Rambo. How are you, bro?
Yeah, doing well. I was playing a bit of two-up back there in the green room, and
Nice.
I'm up, so which is good. So I want to pick it up.
Phil here, going crazy with the two up in the green room. And also from Coogee Beach, Sydney, Club Lock. Welcome, brother. Great to see you again, man.
It's good to be back, guys. I was playing two up in the green room as well, and I'm down.
Yeah, right.
Belvedere took all my money, so got to get him after the show, I think.
Yeah,
That's
he'll
right.
get you. Yeah.
Hey, where'd you play, Chris, before we go to the news desk? Where'd you play? today?
North Ride.
Oh,
So,
nice. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's we've had a fair bit of rain of late, or at least over that weekend, and it's looking a treat now. Everything's lush green. The
Yeah.
greens were in immaculate condition.
Were they?
So, yeah. No, great course.
Awesome. I had a very busy last 10 days of golf, and yeah, I'm pretty keen to get out there tomorrow as well. But let's head over to the news desk.
Let's get this show rolling like a perfect putt and head over to Zook in the ECG newsroom. Over to you.
Cheers, Belvedere. As always, thank you for the intro. Look, in terms of news, there's probably been three people who were really the center of the golfing world this week. And those who know me well probably know where I am going to start in respect of the news coverage this week. And yes, that's right, starting with Nelly Korda. Nelly again appeared peerless as she claimed victory at the Chevron Championship. This was her fifth consecutive LPGA win and her second major overall. She is now one of only three players to ever win 5 consecutive events on the trot on the LPGA. So just in relation to that in media commitments, this is what she had to say. So she said it was an amazing feeling because of all the hard work and the doubt that I had in my head from 2021. You may remember that she had some injuries and the like that kept her out of the game for a bit. She went on to say, I worked through it. It's been an amazing feeling these past couple of weeks, knowing that I can go on this stretch, and that if I stay in my bubble and I keep golf in a sense simple and let it flow, then I can have so much fun out there, and it's just be an amazing time. So with this kind of form, Nelly really is the odds-on favourite heading into the next major, being the US Open, which is due to start on the 30th of May. To make it fair to the field, Ash, what kind of handicap do you think should be awarded to Nelly, given her form at the moment?
Handicap? Maybe play with kids' clubs or left-handed. Mate,
Yeah.
actually, funny enough, I saw Bryson DeChambeau this week play with kids' clubs. Mate, she's outstanding. Isn't this phenomenal? 5 in a row. Just wonderful. And I would actually like to see her play in a men's tournament soon. I think that'd be awesome to see. Handicap, yeah, she's probably got 5 shots handicap ahead of the rest of the group, I would say. What do you think?
I'd love to see her play against men too. That's one of the things I'd really love to see. I'd really love to see a new event. I know there's obviously the Ryder Cup and the Solheim. Imagine if there was a mixed event. That would just be phenomenal. Certainly having experience seeing men and women play on the same field. Obviously, you're aware the Australasian PGA has mixed events.
And it's great
being out and being out there at Castle Hill Country Club, seeing the males and females compete on the same course. Granted, the females will tee off a bit closer, a bit further up, but then to reach the green, they're playing a longer iron than the men would be. So I think it's a bit of a wash overall, and that certainly showed with Jenny Shin, who wasn't really a highly regarded LPGA player, ranked 50th or so in the world, but she was able to compete and be competitive with the men in that format. So, I'd love to see Nelly against the best of the PGA.
I'd like to think Jace Clublock. I know you're not a huge broadcast watcher of golf, but what do you think about maybe taking a tennis sort of vibe to it and having a men's and women's pairing? What would you be interested in that?
I do that all the time. Like I play social tennis on a Monday, and I partner up with some ladies, and they absolutely kill it. So it's a lot of fun, and I'm all for that. Mixing it up with men and females. So yeah,
nice, love it. Back to you, Zook.
Moving on. Naturally, the next person that's clearly exerting their dominance in the golfing world is Scotty Scheffler. After his win at the Masters, his dominance continued with a 3-stroke win at the signature event being the RBC Heritage. The only thing that looked like stopping Scotty this week was Mother Nature. The final round was interrupted by severe weather, and everyone and a few of the players had to come back on Monday morning to complete the round. Similar to Nelly, this was Scotty's 4th win in 5 starts, and is his 10th win on the PGA Tour. Asked how he was going to celebrate this win, he replied, "I'm going to get a breakfast burrito, a coffee. I'm going to go home." So, Ash, how do you celebrate a great round or a local tournament win?
A cigar, like a nice, South American cigar, maybe a Hubert Upman or a Corona of some sort. I love a good cigar after a great round of golf. So I played an awesome round this week and did exactly that. But I think it was funny. I had that RBC Championship on the screens at work on the last day, and they almost got the end of the tournament. But yeah, it's a pity that it got washed out in the end there. Yeah. I actually, before we go, I actually have a bit of a routine before a game of golf, and I wonder if Clublock or Rambo, if you have something similar. But before a round of golf lately, in the last 6 months, I've been having a green prime, a Musashi protein crisp, and a ham cheese sandwich. That's my go-to before tee off. What do you guys do? Do you have a routine?
During the round, I tuck in a couple of Cliff Bars in the thing.
Nice.
Just a bit of sustenance to get you through the 18 holes. And keep the mood up more than anything. You don't want that mood to drop. That's the danger period. Yeah, but I don't know if anyone else. There's nothing more comforting than, I'd love to have a piece of toast with a little bit of melted butter and some Vegemite. And that'd be it.
On the front of the car as you're driving, it's like, bang.
Nice.
And you get the butter and the Vegemite sort of rolling on the car.
Slightly melted. That'd be sweet if you could have that going.
Nice. What about you?
I've had some heavy meals before sports, so like basketball, tennis, sometimes
like
golf.
A fettuccine Alfredo.
Something real heavy. I think it was like a burger or like just half a chicken, and it just ruined me. I was just just so slow, and I was just like trying to hold myself in. So I would not recommend doing that. Something light beforehand, and then afterwards you can smash like a bowl of pasta and a beer maybe.
Yeah, that happens a lot when you have those 10 o'clock games, the basketball.
It's 10 o'clock at night.
You're like, do I have dinner? Yeah.
That's yipped. That's yipped.
You're like 3 kilos heavier because your gullet's just like,
but you got no choice. You got to have dinner beforehand, or you're starving by the 10 o'clock game. So
it's a tough gig.
Sorry, we've interrupted the news desk. Shocking.
That's all right. That's all right. The third name that was making headlines during the week is probably a new name and unfamiliar, but certainly one that you should write down and keep front of mind moving forward. It's Miles Russell, and probably was the most surprising individual and result during the course of the week. For those who don't know who he is, he's a 15-year-old lefty who shot a 5 under 66 on the final round of the Korn Ferry Tour event in Florida. With early rounds of 68, 66, and 70, Miles ended up finishing 14 under par in a tie for 20th. So across the 4 days, Miles scored 3 eagles, 17 birdies, 7 bogeys, and 1 double bogey. And with this performance, Miles become the youngest ever to top 25 in a PGA sanctioned event.
Wow.
So Ash, what was your golf game like when you were 15 years old?
Ooh, 15. I would have been, that's about year 10 in high school. So it would have been about 1989. In 1989, I was playing pretty good cricket. I was playing good golf. I was probably shooting 110, 105, 110 back when I was 15 years old. I was using a set of Emmerich golf clubs, I remember. Absolute garbage. Back then, the woods were wood. You know, Damo was rocking the Carnegie Clarks, but yeah, I was probably shooting 105, 110 back then. Probably.
What footwear were you wearing, Ash? Were you on the Niblix or were they around then?
Yeah.
I think they could have been the KD 26 Dunlops, maybe.
Nice.
When at 15, we were deep in basketball at that point.
Yeah,
you guys were.
I don't think I'd picked up a club by that stage.
I used my dad's secondhand club set that he had, and we would play at the cheapest course in the area. And the sands, the mess that we made, it was just like, we need to get out of here before they chase us out of here.
Can you remember what course you might have been playing, like Parramatta or something?
It was we did the Parramatta one, and it was really close to the main road. And if you went a little bit to the left, it's down the road. It's going to hit a car. So
I remember Parramatta. It was awful. It was so dusty. I would have been playing Mungaree Park, and I would have been using DDH golf balls or Top Flight Stratas they were back in the day, or Max Flies. Yeah. Anyway,
some kids were probably doing golf for Thursday sport. I think maybe might have been able to do it with the Thursday sport, but we didn't choose that.
No, basketball.
And then just finally, and probably another topic that keeps bubbling up. And there has often been somewhat of a pattern over the past few years when rumours about a player and Liv begin to emerge, and that player generally has defected shortly thereafter. What springs to mind there is Brooks Koepka, Cameron Smith, John Rahm, probably the shining examples of when rumours have bubbled up and then their departure taking place not too long afterwards. This week, it was reported by London financial paper City AM that two independent sources had confirmed that Liv was close to signing Rory. The deal was allegedly worth $850 million and a 2% equity stake in the tour. But in media commitments leading up to the RBC Heritage, Rory's response was rather definitive. He said, "I will play the PGA Tour for the rest of my career. I honestly do not know how these things get started. I've never been offered a number from Liv, and I've never contemplated going to Liv. Again, I think I've made it clear over the last 2 years that I don't think it's something for me. My future is here on the PGA Tour, and it's never been any different." So Ash, do you believe Rory? And do you think he's worth the kind of money that was rumoured there?
No. I do believe Rory, because I spoke to Greg Norman earlier this week, and he confirmed that that no, he hasn't spoken to Rory. He's never. Him and Greg confirmed, he hasn't spoken to Rory. Never offered him a spot, but he's open to it. He did say though that he spoke to a top PGA professional this week. I'm guessing that's Scotty Scheffler or Jordan Spieth, maybe. But I believe Rory. I don't think he's worth the money. He's very disappointing this year, and he's not inspiring. And he's very the crowd seem to love him in the PGA. Hey, he's so pro PGA. The crowd just kiss his ass. It'll make me sick. But,
when you were talking to Greg there, Ash, you said you were talking to Greg Norman. Did he have his shirt on when you were talking to him?
No.
This was at the beach, wasn't it?
Yeah, we were walking down the beach. Had a couple of dogs there, throwing the sticks. It was a nice leisurely stroll.
That's the only way to catch him.
He looks fit these days, doesn't he? He still looks fit. He must be in his 70s. Is he 70 or something? Or must be close.
70 something. Looks great. Very shredded.
Yeah, fit as a fiddle.
Very shredded.
What do you reckon he benches? Or do you reckon he's into those like hit classes and stuff? Or?
Yeah, I think he's probably more of the hit class.
Yeah.
I think he does a bit of DDP yoga.
Yeah.
F45.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry, I digress. Back to you.
No, that's all right. And just sticking with Liv, and finally, it's probably more just a bit of a public service announcement and a reminder to all our listeners that Liv Adelaide kicks off tomorrow. Our local coverage will be on Channel 10 or via the 7 Plus app. I guess luckily it is a shotgun start because, as most of us in the Southern Hemisphere are getting well familiar with, is that sunshine is a bit of a rarity, and the afternoons get pretty dark pretty early.
Yeah, they do.
And I guess in observations, Cam Smith certainly enjoyed his time being back in Australia. He went and watched his beloved Brisbane Broncos and was invited back to the dressing room after their win for the team song. And I suppose just quickly across all three, what are you most looking for as far as Live Adelaide this week?
I cannot wait. Oh, looks like Club Lock's gone back to the green room. I cannot wait for Liv. We've got Anthony Kim. I saw him teeing off earlier. What am I looking forward to? Just the broadcast, just the Australiana of it all. I love to see the gum trees or eucalypts. He just looks Aussie. The course is immaculate. But that watering hole, I can't wait, Ran. Watering hole, bring it on.
Yeah, that was the highlight last year, hey. Yeah, I'm keen to see the watering hole again in the par 3. But yeah, I think just more since it's matured in the last 12 months, I'm just keen to see it sort of just what else happens with it. Because last year was, the first time and it was new and all the hype. And I think this year, just the whole golfing side of it will be more impressive. So as long as they don't do go as far as waste management and make that party hole go even worse. I don't want to see that happen. And Belvedere. Thanks, Belvedere.
Yeah, I agree, Red. I don't think it will. I think it's still going to be very Australian. Like the Aussies love sport. I hope it doesn't get too rowdy. But Luke, what do you think? How do you think the Rippers are going to go? The Aussie team. What do you think? They'll get lifted?
I have no idea. Sorry, guys.
Luke, even?
Give me a tennis question or a music question, but no, I'll have to do some more research on it. I'll let you know next week.
You got some viewing to do over the next couple of days.
Yeah,
I do.
If you're going to watch some golf, watch the Live. Oh, look, I just want Cam Smith to do well. He's the face of golf in Australia at the moment, and he's certainly come off a great performance at the Masters. He certainly was there or thereabouts and certainly acquitted himself well. I hope that form transitions across to this event, and hopefully he's there, in contention on Sunday, and that will at least bring eyeballs to the event as well. So it'll be good for golf in Australia to get some profile. There's really not much on the sporting calendar at the moment. We've had the marquee Anzac Day football matches today, so there's a bit of an open window for golf to claim some eyeballs and claim the back pages, so to speak, for a couple of days.
Love it. That's the end of the news. After this short message, I think we've got some confessions to make.
At Car Lovers, we know how much you love your car and how important it is to keep it in top-notch condition. That's why we've created the Car Lovers Infinity Wash Club, an affordable and convenient way to ensure your car stays sparkling clean all year round. Say hello to unlimited auto car washes for less than $10 a week. For details, head to carloversexpress.com.au.
Viewers, I don't know where this is going to go, but we've got a confession to make, apparently, Zook. Over to you, mate.
I do. Forgive me, hackers, for I have sinned. I have succumbed to the sin of wrath.
Right.
This is involving an incident which transpired last Sunday at North Turramurra Golf Course.
Right.
Rand was there with me. I was also playing with Byron and Isaac. We were just having a casual Sunday afternoon late tee off, just trying to get 9 holes in before the sun disappeared.
Lovely afternoon.
Lovely afternoon.
Yeah,
beautiful.
We're all playing pretty well off the tee, to be honest. There's a number of drivable par 4s. We were regularly getting, carry and distance of 220-meter carry with 240-meter total distance.
And Chris, don't forget, you were 120 out and hit a beautiful iron shot. What, of 2 feet to the hole?
Oh, you're probably even less, but yeah. But anyway, Anyway,
you're playing well, feeling good.
Playing well, but the key thing was off the tee, we were absolutely melting everything.
Right.
So, we're progressing through, coming up to what would have been the 9th hole.
Yeah.
It's starting to get a little bit dark. We're all starting to get a little bit tired. Yeah. But again, as it is with the four of us, a bit of a competition as to who can drive the longest off the tee.
Okay.
So I've teed it up, and again, this time was my worst shot of the day. Absolutely, milled it, but it was a low draw hook.
Right. Okay.
Laser. It was flying. It was
laser. It's flying. Yeah. So it's probably come off at 150 mph. So it's traveling.
Yeah.
And like a tracer bullet, it's traveling directly at somebody.
Oh no! Oh my god! Did we get elevation, or is it a bit of a?
We didn't get much elevation. This thing was lucky to be, 3 or 4 meters off the ground.
Oh right!
It was flying. I've yelled 4 left. Wasn't probably my loudest yell. Wasn't the softest yell, but again, made it aware. This ball has travelled. It's a bit of a shared fairway on this hole, and it's literally gone straight like a homing, a homing missile, and just taken down this elderly lady who was playing her approach on the parallel hole.
Oh,
she's dropped. She's dropped straight down.
Yeah,
my heart just sunk. I think I've hit someone here, boys.
Yeah.
And I've just slowly walked over with I was just taken aback. I didn't know what to say, what to do. I didn't turn around to any of the guys. I dropped my shoulders and just started walking towards her.
Yeah.
The son came up to me, ran up to me, started giving me a hard time, saying, "Didn't you yell 4? What's going on?" I said, I'm completely sorry, but I did yell 4. I continued to walk forward and approached her. She would have been in her 70s, I would say. Her husband was attending to her. She was on the floor. The ball had collected her on the shin.
She was on the deck.
Yep, she was on the deck holding a shin.
Yep. Okay, it's only
her
shin.
shin was cut. Would have had a cut of about it was an inch, at least an inch.
Really?
And bleeding pretty badly. Her son called for the clubhouse to bring out a cart to take her back to the clubhouse, and then onto, I'm assuming, emergency to get stitches.
Right.
To her credit, she was in pretty good spirits. Naturally, I was very, very humble. Apologized profusely, trying to, do the best I could to at least express how bad I felt throughout the whole situation. But I like I said, I thought I had did everything I could in the situation. It was just an unfortunate event. But
so was the son like coming up to punch on or something, or what? What do you reckon?
So we were on the tee box, and it was quite blind. I don't know if Chris could kind of see where the ball went, but we were blind. We went, "Oh, that's gone over there. Maybe that's hit someone, or maybe it's gone towards someone." We saw the sun come over the rise, and say, "You could have yelled 4," and we had no idea it hit someone, so we were quite defensive. We did. We were kind of like, like, we did, mate. What's wrong with you? And then it kind of sink in that, oh no, that looks like it must have hit someone. So we kind of went over, and we followed Chris. We're probably about 50 meters behind him. Went and followed him. And it wasn't until I was getting closer. Oh my god, that's a lady's been hit and she's down. And then we just had to apologize profusely, and just had to make sure the apology was commensurate with the incident.
Well, at least it was only in the shin, man. Like, at least.
That's what we said. Lucky that wasn't in your head. And then me and Isaac were even trying to going a bit over the top. I was going, oh, mate, just trying to really emphasize that apology. I was like, maybe I've got a Band-Aid in my bag. And we started searching around our bag, knowing we didn't have a Band-Aid in our bags.
Yeah.
We were like, hang on, let me have a look. We're opening our zippers, going, no, I don't have one. Sorry. And one thing that did come to mind, and thank God I thought of Dooley's story about his towel. I thought, I'll give him my towel to put on. Like, we need some compression.
Yeah, let's pound in all that like toxic fertilizer and stuff into that.
Yeah, and I thought the towel's not going to be it. So yeah, I thought, oh yeah, after all the stories about the towels, it's not the way to go. So but she was down, and it was
wow.
The other thing, then Isaac was he was still on the tee. He was hitting next, and he was kind of contemplating, do I hit? I was like, no, don't hit. And he ended up hitting the ball, and I was just like, "Oh, do not be the moment where you hook. Do not hook this in for a second. That would be the worst.
Don't do a foretell twice.
So I guess on that front, just seeking, confirmation whether there was anything that I did incorrectly that I should learn from moving forward, and if there is any penance or what I need to do to.
Yeah. I think that your penance would be, you got to verbalise that louder. Yell for like there's no tomorrow.
There was balls flying. That course, though, there was balls flying around everywhere, and there was incidents where we almost got hit a few times. But the question to you, Chris, like, is it impacted you? You went on your round today. Is it impacted you at all? That's what I want to know.
You see it in your face.
Are you seeing ghosts?
Yeah.
I'll put it this way: I did not play driver today. I played on.
Oh, it's affected him. It's affected him, Rand.
Chris, I'll say this.
Whether it was mine, go, Jace.
What hole was she on when she got hit?
She would have been on the 8th, so she was.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say if she was on like an earlier hole, then I would have just said, "Look, I'll cover your costs for today." But I think you did the right thing. Yeah.
You've had your fun. No, go home.
You're listening to the ECG Hackers podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Each week, we are dropping a new episode, which you can find on Spotify or YouTube. Also, check us out on Instagram and Twitter or X at ECG Hackers. Send us your funny golf tales, ecghackers@gmail.com. ECG, where everybody can golf.
Thanks, Belvedere. It's rocking in the green room back there. I can hear it. You had ducked in there just a moment ago, Jace. Club Lock, I saw you drop off the screen there.
Yeah. No, I just had to get my money back from Belvedere. So slowly but surely, I'm making it back from 2 up. So
nice. If you're listening to us on Spotify or watching us on Spotify and YouTube, we thank you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even comment below. We'd love to hear what you think. If you've got funny stories or you want to return fire to Zook and say, no, that he did the wrong thing, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe. Our subscribers are building nicely. We've got a big audience in India and Indonesia. I still want to say thank you to listening to us for. So wherever you are around the world, we thank you. There's 2 segments we do each week. One's Ripped or Yipped, which is coming up at the end. Actually, there's 3. We do the news with Zook. And the next one, which is Who's in Your 4-Ball. This week's Who's in Your 4-Ball is mugshot celebrities or penal celebrities. So, Belvedere, run that tape for me, brother.
Hey, fellas. Belvedere here again.
Wrong one, Belvedere.
Belvedere.
Hey together, brother.
Hey there, everyone. It's Belvedere here again. It's time for this week's Who's in Your 4-Ball? Back to you, Ash Man.
Wow, Belvedere. Dear, oh dear. Who's in your 4-ball? Penal celebrities or celebrities that have had mugshots or been locked up at some stage. We always start with Zook, so let's start with Zook. Who's in your 4-ball penal celebrities?
Well, I clearly didn't pay attention to the group chat because I ended up with just golfing celebrities. So, apologies, Ash. I should have paid closer attention.
Penal word for you.
But I'm just going to play through, as they say, and go with what I've got. So my linkage across all my 3 celebrities is that they all have competed at the Pebble Beach Pro-Am. So it was what qualified in terms of, celebrity and golfing. So tick there. Okay. First one, Mark Wahlberg. He played in the 2016 Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Yeah. The reason why I'd like for him to be part of the squad is that he's spent a bit of time in Australia recently, and certainly has been I've certainly been a big fan of his social media posts around raising awareness and trying to save the full 18 holes at Moore Park. So tick to him on that. So he earns a spot in my squad.
Yep.
And the next, when they're together, I believe are pretty much comedy gold. And those two are Will Arnett and Jason Bateman. So they've collaborated on a number of things. Obviously, most notably Arrested Development, as well as their podcast Smartless. So whilst they're probably
Bateman a really decent golfer too. Bateman's pretty good.
Yeah, both of them are pretty good. I think he's about an 8. I think Will was about a 15 from my research. But they'll probably be useless because they'll be trying to make one another laugh so much. But anyway, they'll be a blast to be around. So that's my 4-ball.
Thanks, Zook. Sorry about the chat. Too many messages got clogged up there. You missed that one. But good job. Doing time. So celebs that have done time, Rambo.
Yeah. I too have probably misinterpreted the group chat. I was skimming past and I just saw the doing. I had something to do with time. I was doing time. So bear with me. But I've my first guy is Stephen Bakula from Quantum Leap. If you remember the TV show, if you remember the TV show, from 1989 to 1993, great TV show.
I loved it.
He was doing so much time. He was jumping back and forth. Great bloke. Great chat. I'd love to talk through, what it was like being on set for that.
Done. Great show. It used to be on like 1 o'clock in the afternoon when you chucked a ciggy from school or something, eh?
Great show.
The cooler. Yeah.
They might have. Did they relaunch that?
I think there was a reboot at some point. I think there was.
Yeah.
Not the same. Not the same.
Who else has done time?
The next guy I've got is Nicolas Cage from Con Air. So he just made that white singlet, super fashionable, and
that mullet fluttering in the wind. Love it.
Yeah. So 1997, I think that movie might have been Nicolas Cage, and then
There's
again,
a brand of hair dryers by a company called Con Air, and I always thought Con Air's come up with hair dryers like merchandise, but no,
and hand dryers too. I think some
hand
of
dryers.
they.
Con Air. That's interesting merchandising.
And then my last is again the same theme of time as I have Bill and Ted will be on the bag. So I've got Bill and Ted.
Because they did time.
Yeah, they did time. Excellent. It would be an excellent round.
Most excellent.
Most excellent. So that's my call.
Couple of bogus. Anyways,
I'll go next and we'll finish with Club Lock. So my penal celebrities. Funny enough, Chris, you and I think 90% of the time get at least one and the same. Yep. I went with a guy who's trading 4 brothers for 4 strokes, Mark Wahlberg. So he's a great golfer too. I like his gear. His sort of athletic angle to it, his golf gear. Then I went with another fella who's very comfortable with blade irons, Wesley Snipes. With blades. And then to cap it all off, trading drumsticks for flag sticks, Tommy Lee is in my
had to be.
Tommy Lee. I had to have Tommy Lee. Club Lock, you brother, your turn.
Yeah, I too got a little bit mixed up with the chat. I went full penal though, so no mug shot. They had to serve time. So so my first one is Al Capone. Now he's definitely done time. But it would just be more along the lines of getting some moonshine recipes and just knowing he can't hurt me out there on the golf field because he hasn't got his thugs with him. And
Tommy Gunn.
No Tommy Gunn. But just be good to sort of, and I think there's a photo of him playing golf. So there is a link.
He has played it once.
He's played it once. But also I like, with my football, I like to have players that I can beat. So, would bring him in there just, Second up, this guy's definitely done time. Julian Assange. He's still doing time. Still doing time.
I don't think he's never seen a golf course.
No, but I think he'd give it a crack because he spent a long time in a room, 4 walls, right? So it'd be good to get out there and have a walk around. I reckon stretch his legs a bit. But I just think he's got he could drop a lot of dark secrets and just sort of blow my mind and stuff. So I think that, but also he dated Pamela Anderson, and you all know, like, I wouldn't bring Pamela Anderson over. I don't think she's done time, but I'd be asking him a lot of questions about her, just like I did last time I did the 4-ball where I asked Iggy Pop about David Bowie. So there's a theme there.
Yeah, secondhand information.
Yeah, secondhand information. So, and then the last one, do you guys know who I'm talking about when I say the name Ellis Boyd Redding?
No.
What if I said the name Red?
Oh, Simply Red?
No. Morgan Freeman in the role of Shawshank Redemption. Red.
Right.
Okay.
Andy DeFries. No, look, I'm a big Shawshank Redemption fan. I watched it on a flight once, and I started crying in the middle at the end, and the lady was like serving my meals. She said, "Is everything okay?" And I was just sort of like, I'm fine. And look, there's a bit of a connection there with Red, so I think he'd be there to just sort of steer the ship, and he'd probably be my team captain.
Yeah, love it. Awesome. Yeah. That was Who's in Your 4-Ball Penal Celebs.
Big brand golf balls up to 70% cheaper than retail. We're one of Australia's largest sellers of second-hand golf balls, so you save big time. Discountgolfballs.com.au. Never pay full price again. Don't forget to use the code ECG Golf when you're buying your golf balls from discountgolfballs.com.au. You get an extra 10% off, apparently. I got a whole bunch of those Trixon Z-Star divides, the yellow and white ones. So I used them last week on the par 3 course. I think they're a little bit firm for me. Compression rate's still a bit high. I think it's an 87 to 90 compression rate. I think with my slow swing speed, I prefer something a little bit softer. I've come to the conclusion, but that's a conversation I could love to have with you, Zook, about ball compression and whatnot. The guy on the bottom left of my screen, if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify, his name's Club Lock. He's a huge music aficionado. He's got his own segment. It's coming up now.
Welcome to Club Lock's Gimme, where we trade our clubs for beats and dive into the rhythm of the fairway. Back to you, boys.
All right, Club Lock, what do we got this week? What are we focusing on?
All right, so this week we're going to talk about Pearl Jam. So they've just released a new album, Dark Matter. So have you guys listened to it as yet?
I have. Yeah, I have. Yes. I really dig it. Yeah.
There's a lot of mixed reviews within the hardcore Pearl Jam fans. So I've just been, I thought, look, block it out, listen to the album, and sort of make my own decisions. And I think, look, you're not going to get another Versus, or you're not going to get another 10. But they're giving us, 12. I think it's 12 songs. But listening to the album, I think, look, some of the tracks hold up. Some tracks I probably won't listen to ever again. But in this segment, I'm just going to go through a couple of songs that I like, and then we're just going to go to around the room and see your top 3 Pearl Jam albums. So hopefully it's not all the same. And then, next week or next time I'm on here, I'll bring up a new band that you might never heard of. So we'll start off with Pearl Jam, and then next week it might be something totally obscure. But it's just good to do something different outside of the golf in this pod. So so the 4 songs that I really liked off the new album is Upper Hand, Setting Sun, Waiting for Stevie, which I believe is a song about Stevie Wonder, which is just epic. And the 4th one was Something Special. So I listened to it again just before the pod, and I was like, this one's pretty decent. So they're the 4 tracks I recommend. For me personally, my favorite albums, obviously, it's old Pearl Jam. We grew up on Pearl Jam, us 4. So at number 3, I got No Code, which came out in 1996. Songs like Hail Hail, In My Tree, Red Mosquito, Mankind, all those albums, all those songs are just awesome. So that locks in at 3. Number 2, Vitalogy, came out in 1994. And then songs like Last Exit, Not For You, Corduroy, Satan's Bed, and Better Man. All bangers. And then the number 1 is Not What You Think, guys. It's Not 10. And I know a lot of people love 10, but it's too grungy for me. I'm going with Versus. So their second album that came out. 93, and all the hits are at the top of the album. But when you get down to the final tracks, you've got how's this for to end an album? You got Rearview Mirror, Rats, Elderly Woman, Leash, and Indifference, and that's just
hanging.
And usually they got
That's back when albums were curated to go from 1 to 12, you know, and we've lost this art now. And this is what I think really sucks. I mean, you listen to this and Spotify play one track. I think you're absolutely spot on. That album from start to finish, you got to listen to it from top to bottom.
Yeah, and look, you do got the singles at the top, but when you get down, I like the deep dives. I like all those ones that are like the hidden gems and stuff. And so when you listen to like, you know, Rats and Leash, it's like, you're not going to get this on a single, but the songs are awesome. So yeah, how about you guys? What are you guys? I'll start with Ash. What's your top three?
My top three, my third is actually the self-titled album from 2006, Pearl Jam, with the avocado on the front.
Oh yeah, they call it the Avocado album. Yeah,
Avocado album. Nice. It was a time of my life where I was living in Darwin. It was just it's music to me is about memories and places and smells and things. So that actual album really sticks with me a lot. I really loved Binaural. I mean, I'm very different to you guys. I came from a bit more of a glam rock love earlier on, but I really loved Binaural. But number one Pearl Jam album for me would have to be Vitalogy. So many great memories with you boys at Eastern Creek concert. In front of 80,000 people at Eastern Creek, we saw Pearl Jam. One of the greatest concerts I've ever seen. I've seen a decent amount. And I'll never forget seeing you boys in the mosh pit, 20 meters away from the stage. That was just epic.
We survived the rush that they moved us 20 meters. The first song came out. We just literally got pushed forward. And then at the end, there was the bonfires as well.
That's right. What's that song?
Go.
Was it Go?
Yeah.
Who was the support bands? It was
Cosmic Psychos and the Meanies.
Yeah, Cosmic Psychos. They didn't do it for me. No. I'm aching to hear what Zook thinks. Great topic, Clublock.
Yeah, one of the things that just popped in my mind, and just linking this back to golf, I suppose, was where you were saying, Jace, about albums and how and Ash about how they're curated and one linking to another. It's almost like the design of a great golf course. And just reflecting back on Augusta, it's like, Amen Corner, how the holes link and into one another. So it's kind of interesting now in the modern era and so forth. So anyway, that's just 2 cents from me. But in terms of my top three, number 3 would be Versus. Number 2, I've taken a bit of a liberty. I've gone, if you recall, there was a period where Pearl Jam were basically releasing recordings of all their concerts. So I've got a recording of the Sydney concert that I attended. So that's something that's in heavy rotation.
Those brown cardboard sleeves, there's so many that were just circulating around.
Yep, that was back in the day when Triple M used to broadcast it live on the radio. The concert.
Clam or Triple J, absolutely.
Live at the Wireless.
Yeah, so I've got the Sydney recording from the album from the concert I went to, and then very similar to you, Ash. Number 1, Vitalogy. Just it was a time of my life. The memories up at Cumbernauld, the memories putting that on, in Benilde Hall during warm ups and training for basketball. It was just everywhere. Vitalogy in my kind of.
Part of your DNA, really.
And I remember you got that album for Christmas or your birthday, Chris, because I remember, and I remember I came over and I was like, oh, do you mind if I taped it off you afterwards? Like, because back then albums were like $30. There was no Spotify, and I was like, oh yeah, when you're done, I'll just get a copy myself.
2DK, put on a 2DK, the ASF. Yeah, great stuff. Zook loved it. Rambo, big Pearl Jam fan.
Yeah, no, I'm not much different than you guys, no pun intended, or indifferent. But you reminded me, Jason, how good No Code is. I actually have some great songs on that album. So my number 3 is No Code. You're right, 10 is awesome. There's some good stuff on there, but it's not really something I can still listen to. like it's been played to death, and it's got all those anthems on it that you just overplayed. So, yeah, I think No Code's number 3, Versus number 2, and Vitalogy's number 1. Yeah, so much of the same reasons. A lot of those songs were part of, getting pumped up to go out or getting pumped up to play a basketball game, or they've got all those memories of the concert at Eastern Creek. I think we went to one at 1998, even when they were at the Encent, which was very watered down compared to the Eastern Creek. But I'll never forget that. I remember the incident at the start of that Eastern Creek concert when Cosmic Psychos had been out there, just deflating the whole crowd. Everyone's like, "What is this?" And then Eddie comes out and he's saying, "Throw your arms around me."
Throw your arms around me, yeah.
Just acoustic with the guitar, and we're like, "Oh my god, how good's this?" And that got us ready for the concert, and it went mental. So
remember when Eddie Vedder climbed up the side of the scaffolding?
Yeah,
on a massive scaffolding.
Awesome.
I remember
there was water shortage there at Eastern Creek too.
Yeah,
there was no
thirsty.
water. Maybe we weren't allowed to drink, and we're all so thirsty.
Dying of thirst, and it was muddy, I think. But what an experience! I wouldn't do that again. That was before safety and security, and now they've cordoned it all off, and they'll never do it out there again. So,
I was just going to say also, if any of the listeners want us to dissect a band that you like, send us a message, and we'll do our top 3 of the bands that you like. And I've always wanted to say this, but can you smash the like button?
Yes,
love it.
That is all. Smash the like button if you like the content. So
awesome. Belvedere, run the videotape. Here's my favorite time.
Hey fellas, Belvedere here again. It's time to go around the table with ripped or yipped. Let's see what side of the argument the boys are on. Ripped or yipped. Back to you, Ash.
Thank you, Belvedere. All right, it's ripped or yipped. If you agree with the statement, you're ripped. If you disagree, you're yipped. We'll go Zook, Rambo, Club Lock in that order. Here are the statements or topics. Black gloves, black dog gloves, ripped or yipped?
Yipped. I'm not one for general tradition, but it's a white glove for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm
yipped. Black glove brand?
I've never had one. I've seen some cool ones, but I've never actually dabbled in getting one. I'm going to go yipped. I think white's the right way to go.
Would you use a black glove, Club Lock?
Yeah, the last time I saw a black glove was at that O.J. Simpson trial. So I'm going to yip it, guys.
Okay. I'm going to go ripped. Actually, use a black glove. I like being different. What can I say?
Yeah.
Black gloves ripped. All right. Ball retrievers, the big long ball retrievers in your bag to fish the balls out from the lakes. Ripped or yipped?
I'm a yipped. The lost ball's your penance. Take your drop, move on.
Yeah, that's right.
I'd like to agree with you. I haven't got one, but I'm going to give it ripped because I'd love to have one. The amount of times you see one, that ball's just like just out of reach. You're like, I can actually see it in the water. I'm not, there's a few steps in, so I'd love to have one. Isaac's had one before. I'd love to have one.
Yeah, nice. Club Lock?
In honor of my dad, I actually think he made his own personal one, extra long. I reckon it went about 10 foot. I'm going to have to say ripped because he's always one for keeping the ball, and just out of respect to the family, I'm going to say ripped on his behalf.
Yeah, he must have a couple of those to get that quantity of balls he has in that garage.
We'll get to that in the next episode, but it's insane.
He's a bit like a ball cleaner, those things with the baskets at the end, getting out the leaves. He'd be scooping up the bottom of the ponds at every golf
with a flashlight and his own personal scooper late at night. I can see it happening.
Scoop it up. I'm going to go yip. I've never had one, never want one. I'm like Chris, if the ball's in the water, it's going to stay there. That's my penance too. Yes, I agree. Players' country of origin showing next to their name on the broadcast. You ripped or yipped?
I'm yipped. Should only be there with respect to President's Cup or the Solheim or Ryder Cup. So yipped.
I'm going to go I'm going to go ripped only because when they're scrolling through the leaderboard, like before the ad break, sometimes it's easy just to. I'm only looking for Cam Smith or Minwoo or something, and I'm like, oh, there he is. So it makes it a little bit easier just to decipher between the Americans and any national players.
Yeah, basically. Club Lock, what do you think?
I think yipped as well. Like if you want to know about the person, do the research, Google their name instead of them actually giving you their country of birth. And maybe they're like from another country and then they've migrated to another country and it's a bit confusing. So yip for me. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe it should be something else they have there instead of the flag. Like, I don't know, their height or I don't know.
Yeah. Something about them.
World ranking.
World ranking, yeah, they usually do that on PGA now, I think. I'm going to go ripped. I love it. I love seeing that international, but I do watch a lot more DP World Tour and stuff where it's like a geography lesson. Basically, you see more flags there than a geography lesson. All right, watering hole at the Live Adelaide, ripped or yipped? The watering hole.
Ripped and ripped. It's marquee. It's signature. It's a defining hole. It's great.
I want to be there. Ran, ripped or yipped? Watering hole.
Ripped. It's awesome. Yeah, it's great. Great TV. Yeah. Again, like I said before, though, as long as it doesn't turn into like just becoming a ridiculous thing, like waste management. But yeah, no, it's ripped. It's awesome.
Club Lock, before you answer, have you seen the watering hole yet? Where they walk out with their own theme music, kind of like the wrestling.
When I heard Chris say ripped a couple of times, I reckon I was going to agree. I think it's going to be straight ripped, guys. But I think it's a good idea. It's something different, and I'm going to have to check it out when it's on tomorrow, I guess.
I'd love to get your takes on the entrance music that some of the players have.
Yeah. I'm keen to check it out.
I want a review on that, Jace. And then actually next week we'll talk about what your music will be too.
Yeah.
All right, golf skirts, those like netball-looking golf skirts on the golf course, ripped or yipped?
Oh, you mean like skorts?
Yeah.
Oh, ripped. I don't have a problem.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
Cool. Yeah, nice.
We're talking the girls wearing the skirts. I'm sort of.
Oh, girls. Yeah, our girls wearing it. Oh, it doesn't really matter now, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, ripped. I'm not
ripped.
Yeah.
No,
I used to work with a guy that used to wear a kilt every day. He was in IT, and I've seen it all, guys. So I think, and I play tennis a lot. They're always in skirts, and I think it's fine. So it's ripped for me.
Cool. I'm going to yip them. I can't stand them. They make you feel sick. Like those skirts, flipping around like that. Oh, geez. Greg Norman's digital collectible released this week. Ripped or yipped? Did you see it?
I saw the image.
Club Lock, ripped or yipped?
Well, for our listeners, I think you should Google Greg Norman collectible virtual collectibles because it looks nothing like him. No. So if you want to pay the big bucks for something that doesn't look like Greg Norman, then go for it. But it's yet for me. I see where he's coming from. He's trying to make a little bit of cash on the side, but it's
are those things still a thing? The non-fungible tokens, NFTs.
I think Trump did it, and I think he's sort of I don't know. I just think it's a bit cringy. And I just wish it would stop because I don't know. There's going to be a Greg Norman at the beach virtual thing coming soon, and I might get it, but I might not. I might,
The blue shorts.
Yeah.
Zook, did you see it? Did you see the?
I saw it in the group chat. I'm not one for those kind of. I like my collectibles, as you can see in the background. NFTs and those kind of things, I've never really understood. So I've stayed away, and as Jace mentioned, it looks nothing like him, so that's another reason to stay away. So
Rambo,
it's not doing him any justice. He's chiseled out of stone, and then they give him this atrocity. So it's yipped. Shocking.
He's shredded. Last one for the week. Night golf really hasn't taken off much. There's a little bit here on the Gold Coast. Night golf. Is it a real thing, ripped or yipped?
I'm all for it. I'd yip it. I think the closest thing here in Sydney, is at Shorty's, where I think they do turn on the floodlights at the par 3. It's really a fun par 3. They're all they're short, as the name suggests. But I'd love to see someone drop some money so that there was some nice golf here. But I think it'll be a little way off for Sydney.
Rambo?
Yeah, I think just for accessibility, like it's not always easy to get a round of golf in between 9 to 5 or when the sun's up. So, yeah, being able to play at night, just even if it's not, even if it's casual and it's having a bit of a hit, then I'd be all for it.
Club Lock?
I was going to say Rip, but after Chris's confession, I don't know. Like there's more chance for just a blind ball coming out of nowhere because they're not going to light up the entire, golf course. So it could be. I think you just got to sign a waiver saying like if you get hit by a ball, you're cool with it. And then maybe just have less people on. So instead of having like, someone on the 8 and on the 9 at the same time, just have it on a 7 and a 9, and something like that.
A lot of blind spots throughout the course.
I'm gonna go yipped. I've played night golf a few times here at Emerald Lakes on the Gold Coast. There's a few things you don't think about when you go out to play night golf: bats, cane toads, things in the bush, animals, things like that. So the fairways are listed.
Mosquitoes.
You can't find it. Yeah. And then you got cane toads everywhere, and you got things in the bush and bats flying around. So you don't think about those things. Yeah. But thanks, boys. Thanks for playing.
You're listening to the ECG Hackers podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Each week we are dropping a new episode, which you can find on Spotify or YouTube. Also check us out on Instagram and Twitter or X at ECG Hackers.
And like Clubbox said, smash the like. We're about ready to wrap up the show for the week. I'm going to just test you guys out with a little something before we leave. I'm just going to see if this is going to work. There was a great show on Australian TV back in the day on Channel 9 called Blankety Blanks. I think Graham Kennedy was on it.
He was the host.
Blaney or someone like that. I don't know.
My mum was on that show, and she won. My mum.
No way.
That's right. I remember.
On Blankety Blanks.
Yeah.
Kidding me? That's brilliant.
So I should be good with this. Fingers crossed.
So I've got a couple of statements. There's 2 missing words in each statement. It's golf related. I want you to fill it in. You got 5 seconds or 5-10 seconds when I put it up on the screen. I'll read it out so the people at home can hear it, and then we'll just go around and I'll choose the winner out of each one. So the first, we'll call it drop zone. You're going to drop something into that blank. So the first one is, despite the challenging blank, the golfer managed to sink a blank on the final hole. Despite the challenging blank, the golfer managed to sink a blank on the final hole. All right. Let's go with Zook first. What do you got there, brother?
This suggested segment has given me nightmares all week.
Nightmares,
Ash. But what I had was if you just put up on the screen what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. I just had here. It's pretty poor effort, but I'll go with it. It was, despite the challenging lie, the golfer managed to sink a beer on the final hole.
Okay.
So that's what I had.
Okay, cool. I'm down with that. Despite the challenging lie, sank a beer. All right, Rambo.
I've got the first one. I don't know about the second. Despite, but you might be able to help me with the second one.
Yeah.
Despite the challenging Malbon pants, the golfer, they're the ones that Jason Day was wearing that were flapping around in the wind. So despite the challenging Malbon pants, the golfer managed to sink a on the final hole. Despite I think it's just a golf. It's nothing funny. It's just a golf managed to sink a
beer. Yeah,
a beer.
Okay. A beer. Well, Chris has done beer. So I like the Malbon pants. You've done really well in the first half.
Like the challenging Malbon pants. Yeah.
I really like that. Club Lock, what do you got, brother? It's in your DNA. You got to come up.
Yeah, I was going to say, despite the challenging old lady, but that Chris was going to hit, but I just went blank after that. But no, I was just going to say, despite the challenging secondhand balls, the golfer managed to sink a hole-in-one on the final hole. That's really lame. Sorry, guys.
That's fine.
Beautiful. The second one. This, you don't have to be golf related. Remember, it doesn't have to be golf related.
It's hard.
Right. It's really hard
to disconnect.
All right, here we go. The second one. The golf course was renowned for its picturesque blank, offering players stunning views of the blank. So you don't have to be golf related. The golf course was renowned for its picturesque blank, offering players stunning views of the blank. Club Lock, we'll go with you first.
Yeah, so I've got the golf course was renowned for its picturesque cafe, offering players stunning views of their soggy sandwiches.
Oh, no, it's okay. Not bad. Not bad. All right. Soggy sayos.
Yes.
The golf course was renowned for its picturesque lake, offering players stunning views of the sunken golf balls.
Nice. Okay. Good. Rambo, you got something? Got nothing.
I've got the golf course is renowned for its picturesque toilets.
Oh, that's what I wanted. Yes.
Offering players stunning views of the urinal cakes.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
That's it. That's what I want. That's it,
Dunno.
Rambo. You win, brother. That's
Right.
That was good. Thanks for playing. I
Well done.
appreciate you
Good
giving
stuff.
me the time. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, sport lovers, golf lovers of the world, we appreciate you listening, watching to us, whether it's on YouTube or Spotify or on Pirate Copy VHS that Club Watch stuck to you.
Brilliant.
Thank you for joining me tonight, Zook. Thank
Cheers,
you, Rambo.
Cheers.
Thank you, Club Lock.
Thanks for the invite. It's been fun.
No worries, mate. We'll see you next week. That was the ECG Hackers Podcast. Same time next week.
This is the ECG Golf Club. And welcome to this week's Hackers Podcast.